So, Man United nil, Manchester City nil, and that was one hell of a boring game of football. What did we witness? Really, what did we witness? Absolutely drab stuff. And derbies, Manchester derbies, right? And not just Manchester derbies, but derbies in general, usually has fire, passion, and a lot of fight. A lot of determination from both teams. It's like you go you for a fan, it's tribalism. So for you want nothing more than to absolutely smash and decimate and just absolutely embarrass the your rival, your derby rival oppositions, and a lot of fans will mark the date in the calendars as to that's when we play that team. And for players, it used to be you sign for a club, you understand what it means to play for that club, but you also understand what it means when you play against certain teams. Today, it just felt like another game, and not just another game, but another game with low to no stakes whatsoever. Like, not even bragging rights were on the line here. Not even pride was on the line. Just absolute dross. Absolute dross. And there's not really anything to speak about. I mean, some people can argue maybe Man City could have had a red card given for 2 yellows from Ruben Diaz, um, whilst he was on a booking, ended up, I think, tripping somebody up. I think it was Garnett. I can't remember who it was. And allegedly we were supposed to have a penalty. Now, it's not something that I've seen because I've been at work. So I've not been able to actually watch the match play out in live time. But even from hearing what people have been saying, I mean, all of the reactions seem to be along the same line. Like, everybody, it seems to be saying the same thing. Just absolute. Like, the most interesting thing was the weather. The most interesting thing was the weather. I mean, jeez, Jesus, and talk about boring Sundays. I mean, geez, the Japanese Grand Prix, that was boring as well. Like, it was just a really boring Sunday if you enjoy, getting entertainment from sports or motorsport or whichever else. Hell, if some people are going to get it on tonight, it's probably going to be the most boring session that you and your partner are ever going to have. It just follows trend lines. So maybe maybe you'll heed that as a warning to really spice things up and do some mad helicopter motion in that. Just start spinning around and gain some altitude, mate. Maybe do it whilst hanging from the ceiling. I mean, bit of air time, air it out. It's just take that what you will, but it would certainly still be considerably more interesting than what this Manchester derby cooked up. And maybe we can attrition this to just the generic direction that football is going in. Because one thing that's becoming ever more spoken about by fans of all Premier League clubs is that football in the Premier League, the standard is on the floor. It's not entertaining enough. There's not enough quality. There's not really that sort of enjoyment where you go, oh my God, I have to see this game. Bottom of the table, say for instance, 19th versus 20th, usually you'd say, oh geez, well, whoever wins that game, you know, it's 3 points towards survival, right? And it's, it's a Premier League game. You've got two Premier League teams. Of course, some of those two Premier League teams will probably have quite a few championship quality players in there. But overall, it's a team that's in the Premier League. They've had a transfer window to prep themselves for this league, and a big opportunity. Just go at the opposition. Really trade hammer blow for hammer blow, and make it a spectacle. Right? Have players really feel that burning passion, and it's like we have to beat this team. And don't take any prisoners. Give it absolutely everything. Leave nothing left to be desired on that pitch. Nothing at all. If it kills you, it kills you. If that's the last match you ever play, it's the last match you ever play. Right? So there's this idea, right, that football should be played not for, I think, playing for the occasion versus playing just the opposition, right? And I think given that you take a low, like bottom of the table Premier League clash, it should gather more entertainment, right, than a top of the table championship clash, for example, in terms of quality. You don't see, it's like championship games have a lot more entertainment value than a Premier League game does, right? Even though the Premier League has better quality. Southampton, rock bottom of the Premier League, lost 3-1 to a dead Spurs team, right? Lost 3-1 to Spurs. And even they have better quality than the top of the table championship team by by a default metric, right? Why can they not go into a Premier League game and just go all out? You know, just really go at the opposition. Valencia in this last weekend beat Real Madrid, who are chasing down La Liga. They're in a cup final and they're chasing down Champions League. Valencia, who are rock bottom, I'm pretty sure Valencia are rock bottom of La Liga, beat Real Madrid because they don't take prisoners. They, like, La Liga teams, right? You will know when a La Liga team is bad, right? When it lacks quality. You can see it, in various instances, men versus boys. You can see when quality is lacking, but it doesn't stop for the players from actually throwing everything they have at a game, right? Because the culture of football out in Spanish La Liga is different from the Premier League, right? The fans, of course, have their standards that you have to upkeep because the fans over there don't really care about sensationalisms. They don't really care about story or agenda. They just care about win a fucking football match. Yeah, wake up, go down to the ground, support team, go home. Well, support team, watch them win the match, right? Praise their victory or criticize their defeat. Go home. The 5 stages of a La Liga club supporter, it feels like. Whereas in the Premier League, it's like you look at where Tottenham Hotspur are right now. Tottenham Hotspur, people will tell you that that they some Spurs fans will tell you that it's just toxic to comment on Spurs at the moment, to critique them. That it's just a toxic thing. And like, if a club of Tottenham size were in the Liga, down as low down in the table that as they are, would essentially, let's look at where Spurs are in the table, right? So 14th place after 31 games played. There's 7 games left to play, guys. 7 games left. And you're telling me that fans of Tottenham Hotspur's club size aren't complaining, right? Now, there's definitely fans that are just outright saying it's just completely unacceptable. But let me find a club that we could probably compare that to. Club size. Oh, never mind. Valencia are actually higher, way higher up the table. I thought they were rock bottom, but no, they've actually been quite decent. Fair. So last time I checked them out, they're probably. I think the last time I checked them out, they were actually right at the very bottom. But it's actually Valladolid that are at the bottom. Only 16 points there. They are the Southampton of La Liga. So yeah, well, fair play to Valencia, but in terms of comparison of club size, we could say Villarreal or Athletic Bilbao, right? Athletic Bilbao or Real Betis. Imagine if those clubs were down that end of the table in 14th. Mate, people would be calling for the manager's head. They'll be calling for the manager's head. But again, culture in this country, you fail, you underachieve. There's not really a lot of heat that comes with it. Everywhere else, you do it or you die. It's essentially the resolve. I mean, it's Italy. Similar story from the fans. Bundesliga a little less so, but they'll be quite vocal if something's really unacceptable. Ligue 1, the French fans, they will be on your case. The Netherlands, I mean, we've seen with Ajax the mad protests that went on when they were really, really struggling. And it's just, and that's the difference with the culture. You don't really get dead, boring games anywhere near as much in any other league as you do in the Premier League. There's no excitement or need or want to watch lower table teams in the Premier League than there is watching a bottom of the table clash. I mean, Valladolid versus Getafe today. I mean, Valladolid got absolutely smoked, completely smoked. I'm looking at their team, um, Valladolid. Their team is absolutely shocking. Like, literally no quality there whatsoever. I do not recognise any players either. Literally, don't recognise a single soul on that Valladolid team. And then you get Getafe on the other side of the coin. Got a couple of players there that I know about. A couple of players that I recognise. Guanmi, Adam Barry, um, Duarte, Juan Bernat. There's Mayoral. There are names there that you can tell. Yeah, they are. They are better quality, right? Better quality, and on the pitch it shows. You can see when a team has quality, you see it on the pitch. The Premier League, you get quality onto a pitch that you can't guarantee you'll see it. That's what's really bad about the Premier League. And I want you guys to let me know if you agree with that in the comment section, because Arsenal, one of the best teams in the Premier League, you get bored to death watching them. Man City, one of the best quality teams in the league, bored to death. Liverpool is your best hope at getting entertainment value as a neutral football fan. I mean, maybe you could say Spurs because of how ridiculously open they play. They force it to be entertaining, even though Spurs fans are just like, oh my God, this is just horrendous. But Liverpool is probably your best bet. I mean, Brentford don't really put. We'll dress it down. I mean, Fulham beat Liverpool today. I mean, Fulham don't really play an expansive brand of football. Nottingham Forest will, sit deep, play counter attack, but you can see moments of quality in their performances. But you'd probably would say if you want to see it every single game, give another transfer window or two and let them bring that quality in, and you can then solidly say that Nottingham Forest, when they play well, are exactly where they should be, higher up the table. And Chelsea, as much as they've got a young team, there is quality in there. Sometimes they play absolutely abysmally. Aston Villa, to be fair, have a good team quality wise, but they don't play as well. I mean, they've got 0 goal difference in 6th place on 51 points. 46 goals scored, 46 goals conceded. They're not really that active comparatively to what they've got quality wise in the squad. Newcastle, on 29 games played, could leap into the top 4, judging that Chelsea don't really move, or City or Aston Villa don't really move, because they can pick up those 2 wins to put them up into 56 points. But Newcastle play relatively expansive, right? They do play expansive, and you can see the players in their team that have individuals of quality, right? Bruno Guimaraes, Isak, Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali. Those 4 especially, usually you can say, as individuals go, they tend to be the most technically gifted and most standout players for talent-wise. You can see that they are more talented than the players around them. Joe Linton is just a proper shithouse. You got to have some of that in your team. Dan Burn is finding his footing. I think people realise his talent that he has, but I think he's not technical ceiling is not really any much further off the floor. Just a very passionate individual, and there's no real harm in that. It's just when it come up against quality versus quality, and you need to win in that department, you can't really rely on Dan Burn to give you that. So you could say Newcastle play expansive, bit more exciting, but I think they've had games this season where they should be doing better, right? Inconsistencies, but they've literally not really invested. They've won a trophy this year. They've not invested solidly for 2 whole summer transfer windows, which is crazy to me. Really, really crazy. And they're still trying to make it work. As I've said, Fulham don't really play expansive. Brighton play sort of slick football, but they're doing it with, to be honest, a low-grade Premier League team. They don't have individuals in that team that are so well-renowned that they just carry a performance. They rely on a system and integrating that system for a whole team to cohesively play well. That, to me, has its problems. It's great to watch when it all works out, but then you see it not work out, and then it just gets really, really ugly. Bournemouth, you could say, are getting better. Definitely getting better. Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, very, very good run of form, to be fair. They play City next. So they're coming into a good patch of form. Brentford don't play expansive at all. Man United are just shit. Tottenham are, high entertainment value, but it doesn't warrant them any points. But Everton, just steady, don't get beat. West Ham, is it a false dawn with Graham Potter, or is it just teething issues? You could say it could be either. Wolves have a manager that knows how to play a better brand of football than the previous guy did. The last 3 results they've had have all been wins. That was against Southampton West Ham and Ipswich. So literally they've played in the bottom five last 3 games, three out of the bottom five, and their next game is then Tottenham at home. So yeah, Ipswich don't really play sumptuous brand of football, and they don't really have very high quality or skill ceiling. Leicester don't really play very good football, and then Southampton really don't play any good football. Which, by the way, Southampton apparently have been relegated. They're like with today's, I think it's with today's results. Yeah, Wolves win. Yeah, so Wolves win yesterday, and Southampton's loss today has officially relegated them. So the quality of the Premier League is on the floor, realistically on the floor. But then, the quality of other leagues, I just think football in general is struggling, right? It is struggling. There's not enough, standout, generational players in the making. The fact that we're talking about Haaland and Mbappe as the new Messi Ronaldo comparison, or has been touted to be the next Messi Ronaldo comparison, is so underwhelming. So underwhelming. Kylian Mbappe, mad overrated. Erling Haaland is just a finisher. Yeah, he can't really make much magic with his own feet, right? He has to get the team to get the ball to him and get him into the good goal scoring positions. If it's a straight battle with a defender, he'll use pace, strength, those sort of combinations to play a classic number 9. Run into the goal scoring area and unleash a lethal finish. So I think Haaland has got the qualities in that aspect, but that's the guy to lead the way. That's not it for me. That's just not it for me. But yeah, really, the fact is that we've not really spoken much about the things that have happened in the game at all, because there wasn't really anything that happened in the game. So there's not really much I can give to you, but we've spoken about the general quality of football nowadays and how it's fallen off a cliff. Like, that's an afternoon wasted for a lot of people. But let me know in the comment section whether you guys feel the same way. Whether you guys think, yeah, complete waste of my afternoon. Super Sunday, more like get in the bin Sunday. And don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. And hopefully, whoever it is we play next, I think it's Lyon in the Europa League. Hopefully, we can actually improve performance-wise. And Manchester City aren't in Champions League anymore, of course. Yeah. Hopefully, the football gets a bit better here on out. But given it's the Premier League, can't promise anything. Anyways, speak to you all later. Take care.